release him. He's not who I have for you. I have someone better.
I never knew that God wanted to have a relationship. Well, it's that time again. It's time for Life Talk. Life Talk, Life Talk, Life Talk, Life Talk.
Well, hello, I'm Michelle McKinney Hammond. Welcome to another segment of Life Talk. And you know, I'm all about talking about things that give you life, that renew you, refresh you, rejuvenate you. Okay, I can't talk today because I'm thinking about food already because I've got my girlfriend May out here. Now, I got to tell you, I love going to this little vegetable market here in Ghana and buying all of my vegetables and fruits, you know, for the week. And the lady there is lovely. She always dashes you a little
She
something.
does.
Isn't that nice?
I
She
love
does
that.
that.
Oh, God.
So we were there, and Mayat comes, and we start talking. And something in my spirit just said, you need to have a conversation with her. So I just kind of, you know, walked up to her, and I was asking her about jackfruit, because that's my new discovery when it comes to food. And Tabitha Brown was talking about doing jackfruit tacos.
That's it.
So I have had it as a fruit, but did not know that you could cook it and it turns into something else. And so I don't know why I felt Mayat knew about this, but I asked her, and come to find out that she had a vegan restaurant right here in Ghana. And guess what else? It was 10 minutes from my house. Now, you know that was just Jesus. What can I say? So we started talking, and of course she's now my new best friend, and her son Marcus has come over, and we all just bonded up and everything. And so I said, I need you to come and talk to me about food, because she has a vegan restaurant. And as I said, now I gotta tell you a little backstory. I have a friend who came to visit me, and she's vegan, and she brought a whole suitcase of her vegan stuff with her because she didn't trust me to be able to fill her needs here in Ghana. Where I was like, child, we in the land of au naturel. You don't need to bring that stuff. But no, she brought her stuff. She brought pretend eggs and pretend duck and pretend fish and pretend butter, and I don't know what else she brought, but whatever, I ate it and it was nice, but I got sick. And I think it's because I'm so used to just eating naturally. And then I started reading the labels, and it was like a bunch of preservatives and other stuff in there. And I was like, oh no. So, you know, for those of you, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings and stuff. It just was not my cup of tea. But I wanted to talk with Mayat today because she does cook naturally as well. And I want you to explain exactly what vegan is and how it is different from plant-based eating.
Well, let me just say this. Vegan is we don't eat anything from the animals.
Okay.
So I don't eat any fish.
Mhm.
I don't eat any eggs. I don't eat any dairy. I don't eat anything or byproducts from animals at
So
all.
butter, cheese,
No
none
butter,
of
no
that.
cheese, no anything. A lot of that is saturated fat anyway.
Mhm.
So I don't eat that.
Okay.
And plant-based is just the same thing.
Mhm.
It's just eating all natural things of plant-based origin.
Okay.
So vegan and plant-based is almost the same.
Okay.
Yeah, to some degree. Now vegetarian would be different because they're like lacto-ovo vegetarians, meaning they eat eggs or they drink milk.
Okay.
But they eat veggies, but they still allow animal products into their life somewhat.
Okay.
Okay, but with us, we don't do it. We don't even wear leather.
Okay.
So we leave the cow as something sacred, and we say animals should be around the table and not on the table.
Uh-huh.
And we believe that it's compassionate cooking.
Mm-hmm.
For love of the animals, that's why
Oh,
we
I like
do that.
Compassion.
You know, if you looked at Genesis 1:29, it says, I shall give you this to be your food as well as your medicine, this herb-bearing seed.
Yes.
But in the beginning, there was the Garden of Eden. There was no cows, there was no goats.
Mm-hmm.
In a garden, there are no cows and goats. On a farm, there is, because I lived on a farm. But in a garden, there are only fruits and vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
So in the beginning, that's what we believe in. We're going back to the beginning, Genesis 1:29.
Ah, okay. Wow. Okay, that explains it a lot better. So now, that being said, usually a lot of people say, well, how do you get your protein
Okay.
if you're not eating meat?
Okay. Well, I'm a dietitian.
Okay.
So, of course, I know it's called complete protein. The only complete protein in the veggie or the plant-based kingdom is the soybean.
Okay.
A lot of people say they don't mess with soy. But I want to know how you're getting your protein, because that's the only complete protein in the plant-based kingdom. And I know that. I went to school. I've been a vegan since 1977. I'm really not new to this, guys. I'm sure it is.
Okay.
So again, with that soybean, that is the only complete protein in the plant-based family. Other than that, you'll have to combine proteins.
Okay.
Meaning, like, we'll put rice with beans, and it'll give me my proteins.
Okay.
Okay, so the proteins are like amino acids. Amino acids are bodybuilders. That's what builds our body up. So we need 7 essential proteins or amino acids to give us our protein levels.
Okay.
So maybe brown rice will have 4 of the proteins or 4 of the amino acids you need, and then maybe your beans will have the other 3. We combine those together, and we'll have the 7 that we need, and we'll have our complete protein.
Oh, that's very interesting.
So you just have to combine.
So now I got to ask a question about soy, because I know a lot of times when people are going through menopause and different things like that, they add soy to their diets. So soy has hormones.
It does.
So explain that.
Well, okay. Soy is important right now, especially at our age, because it gives us that extra estrogen and all the extra things that we need to keep our temperature regulated, so we don't go through, the temperature changes that we go through, hot flashes. Not every woman hates, but that soy will help balance that to some degree.
Okay.
So it is good to have it, especially at this time. Some people say, well, soy isn't good, soy is this, soy is that, but they said the same thing about coconut milk and coconut when I was going to school. The teacher said, we can't have it. It's a saturated fat. It will kill you. But now look at now. 20 years hindsight. Now that I've graduated at 25, now it's the rave. So you just have to live according to what your body says is good for you, and then just try to balance it out.
Well, now, and that's another thing, because for me, I have a very simplistic approach to it. Anything that is natural, the body knows how to process. When we make imitation stuff, the body doesn't know what to do with that. If it can't break it down, it stores it as fat. That's what I was taught.
That's correct.
Is that true?
That is absolutely correct. It stores in your adipose tissues as fat. Yes, and that's not good for you. And then it also stores in your colon. It also will store in your blood veins. That's how you'll have saturated fat. Most people don't understand what a heart attack is. A heart attack is the fact that you have so much saturated fat in your arteries. Your arteries are like this. It's like a long, like you would say, shoestring. And inside there is plaque. And that plaque, over the years of you eating all of the saturated fat, closes that vessel. Smaller and smaller. The plaque gets bigger, the hole gets smaller, and the blood is not able to go through, and that's why you have that heart attack. They call that a ischemic attack, but it really is the blood is not allowed to go because you're building so much fat in there. It's called arterial cirrhosis, and now that leads you to that heart attack or MIA.
So then let's talk about oils and fats. What are the good ones? What are the bad ones?
Well, we have 2 different kind of fats. Of course, we have saturated. Well, let's say we have 3. We have monosaturated fats, which means it's just one fat. Okay, and then we have polyunsaturated fats, meaning there are many fats. Okay. So we want to stick to the monounsaturated fats, which are like coming from a plant-based origin, like a peanut oil, a canola oil, olive oil. All of those are great fats, meaning they do not store in our as saturated fat.
Okay, now speaking of olive oil, because there's 2 theories. Some people cook with olive oil. Other people say that when it gets to a certain temperature, that it becomes acidic and that messes with the pH balance in your body. So they recommend some other oils for cooking. Grapeseed.
Grapeseed oil is the best seed for that. Because it has the highest points.
And avocado.
And avocado oil.
Yeah.
They don't burn. So a lot of times you smell the oil burning because it has the point of where it actually burns and it smells terrible. People don't understand that. But those have a high level. So you can actually cook them at a 350 degrees or so and they will not burn. And you can reuse them again and again. So grapeseed oil,
avocado,
olive.
But they say you shouldn't cook with olive.
Yeah, but grapeseed for cooking, grapeseed and for me is the number one that I use. Yeah, and then canola oil.
Okay.
Because canola has a high
It's a
smoking
vegetable.
point.
It's a vegetable oil.
Yep. Or you can just use soybean oil. I mean, it's the cheapest of all of them. And it's still better than getting some Crisco.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like getting some stuff that's not good for us. We want to have good protein. We want to have good saturated fats. No. Saturated fat is never a good word. We want to have fats that don't deposit, that go through our system when we defecate.
Okay.
Instead of hardening our arteries. That's what we're trying to avoid at this point.
Okay. So we've talked about oils. We've talked about proteins. Did we cover proteins? So we talked about soybeans. What other types of things? There's people recommend beans, nuts.
Beans and nuts and legumes.
Okay.
So we eat a lot of like split peas. We eat a lot of chickpeas. We eat a lot of broad beans. We eat all the beans. You know, when I was growing up, my grandmother used to always give us beans. You know, we used to say, golly, beans again. But grandma knew.
Yeah.
You know, my grandmother used to grow all of her food, even up until she was 92 years old. But she would always pick her own vegetables. And I remember my grandmother, she canned everything. And she used mason jars and she'd make jelly.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'd make hot sauce. She'd make pickled pepper sauce. And she put everything up. When you go in her cabinet, it'd be laced.
Yeah.
And then she would freeze. She would freeze her blueberries. She would freeze her strawberries.
Yes.
She would freeze her mangoes. She would freeze everything. And
My mom used to do candy when I was
I just love that. And
Yeah.
that gave me the love of food. So we as a people, we got to get back to those things.
Yes.
You know, we don't have to always have preservatives. If we're reading the label, and this is my key to anyone, if you're reading the label of food and you cannot pronounce what's in it, think twice.
Exactly. Because one of the things I love about living in Ghana, like I said, I get my coconut juice, I get my pineapple, and I juice with that, and do my carrots and my apples, and I just, you know, we do real around here. We keep it real, you know. And I felt a tremendous difference in my body. And I can tell the difference between when I go to the States and when I'm in Ghana eating. My body feels completely different. You know, and it's easy to fall off the horse because once it's like crack, man. Once
It is like
once
a
you
dime.
taste one thing, it's like you want
Oh,
everything, you know. So let's talk about sugar because that's like the big crack.
That's another devil. I'm sorry, y'all. We don't do white sugar.
Right?
Okay? We don't do white flour. We don't do white rice. We don't do all of those. Why? Because those are killers, mad killers of our people. And we have to make sure that we eat better. So we don't really use sugar in our house. We haven't used sugar in our house for a long time. And I'm not gonna say all sugars, because we use coconut sugar. That's the only sugar we use in our house. And that's the only sugar that one has grown up on ever. Coconut sugar is good for you because it doesn't spike the glycemic index.
Oh,
So it's
I
good
didn't
for
even know there was a coconut sugar.
See?
Wow.
Ghana, they're selling coconut sugar in America for like $17 a pound almost. And y'all have all this coconuts here and y'all haven't really figured out how to capitalize on this superfood market. $17 a pound for sugar, for that sugar in America.
Wow.
I brought it from America with us because of course it means that much to me and my patients.
Wow.
So we only use, that's the only sugar we use, and then we only use that and something called agave.
Yes.
Agave, because agave doesn't spike the glycemic index.
Okay.
Okay, remember when we're eating sugar, sugar has a index, and they call it a glycemic index. It goes from 0 to 100. Okay, so if you're getting table sugar, you're at the 100. If I'm getting coconut sugar, I'm at about 20. If I'm at agave, I'm at about 14. So that means I can have 7 more times the cookies as you can every time I eat, and I'll still have the same load of sugar that you have in that one.
Wow.
So if I can mediate that sugar and keep us from causing a diabetic or eating applications or all the other things that are behooving our race, then we can do something about it.
Yeah.
Let's stop eating sugar. And if we must eat sugar, let's eat some coconut sugar. And even better, let's eat agave.
Wow.
Agave is better than any of them.
So what about stevia?
I like stevia, but stevia is so nasty.
Ah!
Sorry, stevia. I love y'all. I tried, girl, I bought hundreds of bags of that stuff. I got it at the store.
Really?
At my store in Iowa shop in California, family. And I have boxes of that stuff. It's called Truvia.
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 Yeah, that was okay to me.
Yeah, but
Maybe I've adapted my taste.
When you bake with it, it gives a bitter aftertaste.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's fine with the drinks. We can do it with the drinks, but I'm talking about baking. I do a lot of baking.
Okay.
So I have to have something that will be comparable to sugar
Gotcha.
without giving you, diabetes.
Okay.
So we call ours guilt-free treats.
Okay. So now talk to me about substitutes. Things that make things that taste like other things. Like, Tabitha Brown was talking about the jackfruit, but when you cook it, it tastes like chicken. And my new discovery is oyster mushrooms. Oh my God.
Now we talking Hammond.
Ooh, yum, 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 yum. Ooh, good.
Let me say something. Let me just say something.
And I've heard that there are lobster mushrooms and chicken mushrooms, and I'm like, what? There's a whole world of mushrooms out there that taste like meat.
Let me
I
tell
have
y'all
lost
something.
my mind, okay?
Look.
Because I am trying to cut back on all of that. I do still love my fish now, but
You're
hey.
doing good. Let me tell you something. Mushrooms are like the meat that God put on earth for the people who don't want to kill animals. There are so many different flavors and varieties that you can do something with.
I'm
You
finding
see
this
that
out.
oyster mushroom there? Is the king of the jungle.
It is lovely.
You don't want to play with it. My son make it, and I'll tell you guys, it's the best thing I had.
Yes.
I almost wanted to make me some shrimp sauce to dip it in. It was just
Wow.
we going back to that old base stuff.
Yes.
Y'all don't make my mom. So we have a lot of substitutes. We have that, and then we also have patties that we can make into burgers. And then we have tofu that we can turn into some of everything. Even the shawarma, she was talking about the jerk chicken shawarma, that's made from tofu, it's plant-based.
And I did not know
people
that. It tasted like chicken, okay? Because I've always said that I don't like tofu because it's like it's flavorless. Now, people who know how to cook it right, they do stuff like, they let it absorb the flavor of the seasonings or something. I'm trying to figure it out, but when she said that chicken shawarma here, I said, I thought she said she was vegan. There's some chicken up in here. It was tofu. Look at that. You see that?
It's tofu. Really, guys, nothing really has to die to feed us. We're not really pushing veganism at this point. We're just pushing that. Let's try to
We're pushing life. How about that?
And then the whole thing with us is try one day. Like what I tell my patients, try meatless Monday. So every Monday you don't eat meat. You don't know how much that'll add to your life.
Yeah.
You don't know how much that'll add to your heart. That'll build up your kidneys. That'll help your liver be stronger. It is so many parts of your body that will appreciate you just doing it even once a week. And then maybe 2 months from now you'll do 2. And then maybe 3 months from now you'll do 3. And then maybe after that you'll just see it's just no need for this. I can still sustain myself without it.
And I'm going to tell you, when I did a 40-day raw.
40-day raw.
And I felt high. I mean, I had so much energy. I was getting on my own nerves. I was waking up early, and I am not a morning person, okay? My only thing that I craved throughout was I just craved French fries for some strange reason. Maybe it was just the salt that I was missing or something like that, that crunch.
Yes.
But other than that, I was really cool. And I actually had to make myself, go back. I don't even know why I decided I needed to make myself eat because I was quite happy eating the way I was eating. But I definitely noticed a difference in energy, and it makes sense because it's all alive, so it's giving you life. And if you're putting anything dead in your system, it's weighing you down. It's taken away. So, I mean, it's really interesting and simple when you do the math on eating. But I know that my diet's been changing, in the last year or two gradually. And that I have a tendency to enjoy more vegetation and things like that. I love bean sprouts. I love corn. I love anything like that, actually. And I could make a whole meal out of that and be quite happy. Yeah, and be very satisfied. Yeah. Yeah.
But what I like to say to the audience, let's make a vow to yourself to just try, let's just do a meatless Monday, Let's just try it once. Like when my sister did, when Lent comes around, God said you have to give up something that you really love. And a lot of people give up meat. But let's not just wait till Lent to try.
Right.
Which is very good. I love that, even that, because we do that at church as well, and it gives a person a chance to detox. But let's do that more often. Let's make that say a meatless Monday I'm going to do for next year. I'm just going to pledge to myself that I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it because health is wealth, guys. At the end of the day, all the money in the world can't buy you a new heart. Ask John Wayne.
Yes. Yeah, it's true. So let me see, what have I covered? I've covered, let's talk about juicing and the benefits of juicing.
Juicing is one of the best things you could do for your body. Because juicing, I mean, you're getting everything in its raw form.
Yes.
Like when my son makes the watermelon juice, we're eating the watermelon seed as well.
Yeah.
He puts the whole watermelon
He puts the whole thing in there.
And so we're even getting
The
watermelon
rind
seed.
too?
Not the rind.
Okay,
but
so
still
we
getting
cut the
seed.
rind.
You cut the rind out.
But some
we're getting
people
the
take
seed.
the rind and do other stuff with it.
If it's
They put it
organic,
there.
I will do that. But if it's not organic, I won't.
Okay.
Because if it's organic, I will take everything.
Okay.
You know, and like even with carrots, we take the carrots and we juice the carrots.
Yeah.
But the pulp, we make carrot tuna out of.
Yes.
You know,
Ooh.
put some mayonnaise in a pickle relish and fix that up, and that tastes like tuna. I put a little
What?
kelp in there. People be like, "Girl, is that tuna?" So nothing
that.
waste. That's a positiveness of juicing. And juicing also it awakens the body.
Yeah.
It makes us feel alive.
Yeah.
It makes us feel bubbly, and it also gives our system a chance to
rest.
to rest our digestive system. You see, our gut is our healthy point. If you're doing yoga, your gut is, that's what they call your core.
Yeah.
So even in eating, this gut has to be healthy.
Yeah.
So when you're getting juices, you're giving your gut a chance to rest and to rejuvenate and to detoxify. So it's a good thing.
So, okay, leading up to that, then let's talk a little bit about the importance of keeping an alkaline state in the body. Because a lot of people don't understand about pH balance and how acidic food gives us arthritis and osteoporosis and causes stiffness and inflammation in the joints. I battle with that a lot. And, you know, just finding those things that actually bring alkaline to my body. So what kinds of things are alkaline? What foods are alkaline besides getting alkaline water? What kind of foods should you take in if you're suffering with stiffness and things like that?
Well, a lot of the foods you want to get is foods that don't cause inflammation. I mean, like a lot of the, stay away
What
from,
foods cause inflammation?
like potato, anything that's mucus forming.
Okay.
Like potatoes, my number one friend. Oh,
I love
got
potatoes.
to be more careful. But anyway, as
Every
a
now and then I
dietitian-
gotta have some fries. Okay.
I
Okay,
teach
so-
y'all, but you know the dietitian sometimes she cheats. I'm not the food police. I'm just a human being trying to get it right. Okay, guys?
Okay.
But at the end of the day, you gotta rice, a lot of rice. Anything that's a carb.
Really?
The best one will be sweet potato, because sweet potato is
It's the
considered-
lowest.
It's considered alkaline.
Okay.
So I eat a lot of sweet potatoes. I buy a lot of sweet potatoes, especially the white ones, like the bonita ones. instead
From
of
here.
From here instead of the orange
Orange
ones.
ones.
From home, which are still
So the
very good.
white ones here are better than the
They're
orange
better
ones?
than the ones at home. They are. They have more
Wow.
nutrition in them. They have more like
Well, they're delicious. So that, I don't have a problem
minerals
with
in
that.
it. Yeah, so they're much better for us.
Okay.
So if you want to stay alkaline, watermelon is very good for you. Anything that's light.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Fruits and vegetables. There's not too many that you cannot have. Mostly it's carbs. They want you to stay from.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I notice I love plantains, but I can get heartburn.
Yeah. Well, plantains are better. You can have plantains. You can have bananas, but they rather you have the boiled bananas, what we call honey bananas in Jamaica, the little small
The
ones.
little small ones.
They are the better ones, and they're more alkaline. So you just have to look and eat food that keeps your pH balance in check. I'm a breast cancer survivor, so number 16 years. So of course, alkaline diet is very important to actually keep my system the way it is. And I haven't caught cancer again.
Because
recently.
you have to cut down on those
You have
acids.
to cut on all that and sugar, anything that's going to make you have
Feed those cells.
those runaway cells that are renegade and coming to destroy you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Woo! You see, y'all didn't know all of that about some food, did you? So next time you pick up your fork, look at what is on it. Is it loaded with preservatives? Is it sugared down? Is it something that's going to put more acid in your system?
Is it full of saturated fat?
Yeah. And that fat clogging up your veins, you know. I mean, I have high cholesterol, and it's probably considered genetic because I don't eat anything that make it go high. So, you know, these are all things that we have to become much more body conscious. I mean, you know, people always say, how do you look so young? I mean, and I think that really my diet and sunshine and lots of laughter has everything to do with it. Those are the things that feed you life, and we've got to be more conscious. There's so much good stuff out there to eat, so much yummy things, so many temptations. But are they serving you? That is the question. Are they really feeding you life, or are they slowly depleting you and leading you on a path towards death? I mean, these are things, a lot of our issues, especially in the Black community, are due to diet. And we have got to take better care of ourselves.
And then we're not even using that word anymore. Diet. We're
Yeah.
living it.
Yeah.
See, this is the wrong word.
Yeah.
Diet.
Yeah.
As a nutritionist, as a vegan, we don't die.
Yes.
We
Yes.
live it.
Exactly.
So let's stop dying and let's start living.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's leave our, like the Bible said, those dead habits of the world.
Yes.
We're going to leave those all behind.
Yes.
You know, and we're going to do things that uplift us and sustain us in life.
Yes.
Food is medicine, guys.
Yes.
And medicine is food. There's no other way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
You can control heart attacks. You can control cancer. You can control diabetes. You control all of that by what you put into your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Forks over knives. It's just that simple.
So this is just part one, honey, because we're going to have Mayat come over and cook, and then we go eat.
And we're going to have a fabulous dinner party.
Yes.
And we're going to invite people over and show them how we get out and how we live.
Yes. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
It was a yummy interview, wasn't it?